What if I told you that the difference between a car that dies at 100,000 miles and one that cruises past 500,000 isn't luck, it's knowledge? I'm about to shatter everything you think you know about car maintenance. See, there's a reason why some people drive the same car for decades while others are constantly at the dealership writing checks. And it's not what the manufacturers want you to believe. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact blueprint that separates the 1% of car owners who achieve legendary mileage from the 99% who don't. But here's the catch. Most of what you've been told about car care is either incomplete or flat out wrong. Hit that subscribe button right now because this information could literally save you tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. The foundation. Let me start with a story that'll blow your mind. Last month, a customer rolled into my shop driving a 2003 Honda Accord with 547,000 miles on the odometer. Not only was it still running, but it was running better than most cars with 50,000 miles. When I asked him his secret, he pulled out a worn notebook and said, "It's not about spending more money, it's about being smarter with your maintenance." Here's what most people don't understand. Your car is designed to last 300,000 to 500,000 miles. Yes, you heard that right. The problem isn't the engineering, it's the maintenance myths that are literally killing your engine. Today, I'm going to give you the 15 game-changing habits that will transform your relationship with your vehicle forever. But first, let's destroy the biggest lie in automotive history. Myth buster, the oil change lie. Here's the truth that'll make you angry. Those 10,000-mile oil change intervals, they're not designed to protect your engine. They're designed to sell you a new car. Think about it logically. Who benefits when your engine dies at 150,000 miles? The manufacturer who gets to sell you another car. The oil companies who partnered with them to extend these intervals aren't paying your repair bills. You are. I've personally torn down hundreds of engines, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, every single engine that followed those extended intervals showed premature wear, sludge buildup, and catastrophic damage that could have been prevented. Here's what actually works. 3,000 to 4,000 miles with conventional oil, 5,000 to 6,000 with full synthetic. Period. End of discussion. But here's the kicker. The type of oil matters more than the brand. Always use the viscosity specified in your owner's manual. 5W30 isn't the same as 0W20, and using the wrong viscosity can destroy your engine even with frequent changes. If you take away just one thing from this video, let it be this. Short oil change intervals are insurance policies for your engine. Would you rather spend $40 every few months or $8,000 on a new engine? The silent killer. Now let's talk about the maintenance task that 80% of drivers completely ignore until it's too late. Transmission service. Your transmission is like the heart of your car's drivetrain. Unlike your engine, which gives you warning signs when something's wrong, transmissions die suddenly and expensively. Here's what's happening inside your transmission right now. Every time you shift gears, microscopic metal particles are created. These particles circulate in your transmission fluid, like liquid sandpaper, gradually wearing down your clutches and bands. The manufacturer says lifetime fluid. That's code for lifetime of the warranty period. After that, you're on your own. Smart car owners do a drain and fill every 30,000 miles. Not a flush, a drain and fill. Flushing an old, neglected transmission can actually dislodge debris and cause immediate failure. And here's the pro tip. Always use the exact fluid specified by your manufacturer. Using generic ATF is like putting the wrong blood type in your body. It might work temporarily, but it'll cause long-term damage. The cooling system secret. Let me share something that even experienced mechanics often get wrong. Coolant isn't just antifreeze. Modern coolant is a complex chemical cocktail that protects your engine from corrosion, cavitation, and electrolysis. After 5 years, regardless of mileage, your coolant becomes acidic. Once that happens, it stops protecting and starts destroying. I've seen coolant so acidic it ate through aluminum radiators like battery acid. Here's the maintenance schedule that actually works. Flush your coolant every 5 years or 75,000 miles, whichever comes first. Use only OEM spec coolant. Never mix colors or brands. And here's something most people don't know. If your coolant is brown, black, or has particles floating in it, you're already in trouble. That's not just old coolant. That's internal engine damage happening in real time. The timing belt truth. Now let's talk about the single most expensive mistake car owners make. Ignoring the timing belt. Here's what happens when a timing belt breaks. In interference engines, which is most modern cars, the pistons slam into the valves at full speed. The result? Complete engine destruction. The timing belt replacement interval isn't a suggestion. It's a countdown to catastrophe. Most manufacturers recommend 60,000 to 100,000 miles. But here's what they don't tell you. Heat, oil contamination, and time degrade the belt, even if you don't drive much. Pro tip, when you replace the timing belt, always replace the water pump, tensioner, and idler pulleys at the same time. It's called preventive maintenance, and it's the difference between an $800 job and an $8,000 disaster. The fuel system breakdown. Here's a maintenance item that's become critically important with modern fuel systems: the fuel filter and fuel system cleaning. Today's gasoline contains up to 10% ethanol, which acts like a solvent in your fuel system. Over time, it dissolves rubber seals, creates deposits, and can cause fuel pump failure. Here's your fuel system maintenance blueprint. Replace fuel filter every 30,000 miles. Use top-tier gasoline with detergent additives. Add fuel system cleaner every 15,000 miles. Never let your tank run below 1/4 full. That last point is crucial. Your fuel pump is cooled by the gasoline in your tank. Running on empty overheats the pump and shortens its life from 200,000 miles to 100,000 miles. The breathing system. Let's talk about something that directly affects your engine's power and longevity: the air filtration system. Your engine is essentially a giant air pump. It needs clean air to run efficiently, and dirty air filters are like making your engine run a marathon while breathing through a straw. Here's what most people don't realize. There are actually 3 filters in your car that need regular attention: engine air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, cabin air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, PCV system, often forgotten but crucial. The PCV, positive crankcase ventilation system, prevents pressure buildup in your engine. When it fails, you get oil leaks, excessive oil consumption, and engine damage. Replace the PCV valve every 30,000 miles. It's a $15 part that prevents $1,500 in damage. The ignition system. Now let's talk about the ignition system, the electrical heart of your engine. Modern spark plugs can last 100,000 miles, but here's what the manufacturers don't tell you. Waiting until failure means you're already losing power and fuel economy. Here's the replacement schedule that actually works. Platinum plugs, 60,000 miles. Iridium plugs, 100,000 miles. Copper plugs, 30,000 miles. But here's the pro tip. When you replace spark plugs, always replace the ignition coils too if they're over 100,000 miles. Weak coils can destroy new plugs in just a few thousand miles. The brake system. Let's talk about the most critical safety system in your car: the brakes. Most people think brake maintenance is just replacing pads and rotors. That's like thinking heart health is just about cholesterol. Brake fluid is the lifeblood of your braking system. Here's the science. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air. Water in brake fluid lowers the boiling point from 400 degrees Fahrenheit to potentially 200 degrees Fahrenheit. When your brakes get hot, that water boils, creating air bubbles that cause brake failure. Flush your brake fluid every 2 years, no exceptions. Use a brake fluid tester. They cost $25 and could save your life. If your fluid tests above 3% moisture content, flush it immediately. The drivetrain. For those of you with rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive vehicles, let's talk about differential and transfer case maintenance. These components transfer power from your transmission to your wheels, and they're filled with heavy-duty gear oil that breaks down over time. Here's what happens when you neglect differential maintenance. The gear oil becomes contaminated with metal particles, loses its lubricating properties, and causes expensive gear damage. Service intervals. Rear differential, every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Front differential, every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Transfer case. Every 30,000 miles, always use the manufacturer-specified gear oil. The viscosity and additive package are engineered for your specific differential design. The sensors and electronics. Modern cars have hundreds of sensors that control everything from fuel delivery to emissions. 2 sensors that directly affect longevity deserve special attention: the mass airflow (MF) sensor and oxygen sensors. The MAF sensor measures incoming air so your engine computer can calculate the correct fuel mixture. When it gets dirty, your engine runs rich or lean, causing poor performance and potential engine damage. Clean your MAF sensor every 30,000 miles with only MAF sensor cleaner. Never use carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner. They'll destroy the sensor. Oxygen sensors monitor exhaust gases and help optimize fuel mixture. They typically last 60,000 to 100,000 miles, but contaminated fuel or oil consumption can kill them early. The body and undercarriage. Here's something that separates cars that last 500,000 miles from those that don't, protecting the body and undercarriage from corrosion. Rust is the silent killer of high-mileage vehicles. It doesn't matter how well you maintain the engine if the car literally falls apart around it. Your corrosion prevention strategy. Wash the undercarriage monthly. especially in winter. Apply rust-proofing treatment annually. Fix paint chips immediately. Keep drain holes clear. If you live in the salt belt, this isn't optional. Road salt will destroy your car faster than any mechanical failure ever could. The maintenance schedule. Now let me give you the ultimate maintenance schedule that will take your car to 500,000 miles and beyond. Every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Oil and filter change. Visual inspection of belts and hoses. Check fluid levels every 15,000 miles. Rotate tires. Check alignment. Inspect brake pads every 30,000 miles. Transmission service. Differential service. Replace air filters. Clean MAF sensor. Replace PCV valve every 60,000 miles. Replace spark plugs. Platinum. Replace timing. Belt dash chain if due. Replace coolant every 100,000 miles. Replace spark plugs. Iridium. Replace ignition coils. Major inspection of all systems. Here's the secret weapon. Keep detailed records. Every service, every repair, every observation. This logbook will become your car's medical history and your guide to preventing problems before they happen. The cost analysis. Let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets really interesting. Average car payment in America, $650 per month average car ownership period, 6 years. Total cost, $46,800. Now let's look at the 500,000 mile maintenance approach. Annual maintenance cost, $1,200 to $1,800 over 20 years. $24,000 to $36,000, plus initial car cost, $25,000 to $35,000. Total, $49,000 to $71,000 for 20 years. But here's the kicker. Most people buy 3 to 4 cars in that same 20-year period, spending $140,000 to $187,000. The maintenance approach doesn't just save money, it saves massive amounts of money while giving you a more reliable vehicle. Understanding how your car works makes you a more informed consumer and helps you spot problems early. But most importantly, you break free from the consumer cycle. You're no longer a car payment prisoner. You're not constantly researching new cars or dealing with depreciation anxiety. So there you have it, the complete blueprint for 500,000-mile vehicle ownership. These aren't just maintenance tips. They're a philosophy of ownership that can literally change your financial future. If this video helped you maintaining your vehicle, subscribe to my channel for more likely videos.